Okay, so now you have your syndication put together. You've got your PPM, your operating agreement, the subscription, escrow's underway. You've marketed the investment and had those conversations, you've pitched it, and now you have some interest. So what next? How do you get the money from the investor who's interested into the bank account so that it can be ready to close? In this module, we are going to show you how to do that step by step, and we call that latching investors. So latching them into your syndication. All right, so let's talk about latching your investors to syndication. Now, in this discussion, I'm going to assume that you are doing a 506C. The only difference between a 506C and a 506B is a 506B doesn't have the third-party verification of accredited investors, and so it's a little more, there's a few more steps with 506C, so that's why we're going to use that as our model. So let's go ahead and switch to our whiteboard. All right, so what is the first step? So we have an investor who has now said to you that they are in it for $200K. So investors interested in investing $200,000 with you. This could either be a soft commit or a firm commit. It depends how you want to categorize it. I like to categorize this as a soft commit because I've got in just sort of a verbal word. We haven't gone through the accreditation process. I don't like firm commits until it's much more like we're setting up, getting ready to wire that money. And what amount I should put on the subscription agreement. So I like that being the firm commit. Your mileage may vary. So to me, this is a soft commit. I'm in it for $200,000. The next step is to get them accredited. Now, we do this with, as we discussed, almost always, it's a smart move, a third-party verifier. We do that through a third-party verifier, so what they will have at the end of the day, someone else has taken their own independent, objective view of this person and decided whether or not they believe they are an accredited investor. So if it ever becomes an issue of, well, did you do your due diligence on your investor to see if they're third party? You can say, yes, I have. I used a third party, which is what will matter. So they're going to look at them in one of 4 different mechanisms. So they are going to, well, let's just move this. They are going to look at them under the income test. So they're going to see, do they have the right amount of income, $200,000 of income, or $300,000 if it's joint, if it's a husband and wife doing it. Do they have do they meet the income requirements, or do they meet the net worth requirements? Is that $1 million of net worth, is that what they have, not counting their house, their primary residence, or not counting any of asset of it, except if it's underwater, then we have negative equity. We've discussed that before. So do they have the net worth that meets that? Or do they have, this is the way I like to do it because it's the easiest. So I like to make sure that they know that they can do this. Almost any third-party verifier will let them do this. A letter from a professional. Now, it has to be a professional with knowledge about their financial situation. So we're talking their tax accountant, their CPA, their lawyer, their money manager, things like that. Somebody who has actual knowledge of whether or not they would be a accredited investor. Or number 4, because of new legislation, do they have a securities license? Which is now allowed to qualify people to be a accredited investor. So under one of those 4 things, hopefully one of those is true. If it is true, the third party will come back and they will issue a certificate. Normally these certificates are only good for like 90 days. So you want to do it, within a reasonable time frame of taking their money. So they issue a certificate. Now you have a real accredited investor. So the next step after that is now it is time to go to the subscription agreement. Now you've already prepared it. And they should have already told you whether or not their attorney has reviewed it, or whoever they want to review it should review it before you go through the accreditation stage. So now there's the subscription agreement. All right, so they review it, they sign it, and now the next step is very simple. They sign it first, the subscription agreement first. Now they wire you the money to your bank. And now the money's there. You verify it's there, and then you send them. You sign the subscription agreement, saying you verified that it's there. All is good. Now let's talk real quick about whether it's your bank or an escrow. This is up to you. I haven't found a need in deals that I've done to have investors wire money into an escrow account in order not to they just send it to me. You may find that some areas it may just be easier to give that money to an escrow company and have them hold on to it. I haven't found that to be an issue, but I have a good reputation, and the people who invest with me, they either have known me or they've come in by referral or something. They're not strangers, so they know who I am. So I haven't had that problem before. I also have a license, so I have a lot to lose if I was to do anything bad. But you may find that it's easier or it's more marketable to not have them put it into your bank account, but have them send it to an escrow. That is for, really whatever you think is going to work the best. So that is how we do those next steps. So in the next module, we are going to walk through those very last steps of now taking that money and closing the escrow and those things that still need to get done in order to finish off this part of the syndication, the whole launching of the syndication, and then basically move it into orbit. And that will be after this next module.